Greetings, everyone. Raymond Lacoste here with Stormwind Studios, and today I'd like to take this opportunity to discuss with you how ITIL practices can help any organization. So, if you don't know what ITIL is a framework that is the most widely adopted in the industry when it comes to IT service management. So ITSM is all about the ways that we are going to efficiently and effectively manage our IT services. So this framework, we are going to be adopting it and adapting. And by adopting it and adapting it, we are going to be able to provide the best possible services day in and day out. In today's day and age, we treat our IT services no differently than we treat things like the spa or your favorite coffee shop or the corner store that you visit or the grocery store you visit. All of these places offer a service. And in today's day and age, when it comes to IT, we need to deliver IT with that same mindset. The fact that we are delivering a service that allows all of our different customers, our stakeholders, achieve those outcomes that they want to achieve without them having to manage the very specific costs and risks associated with trying to achieve those outcomes. So when it comes to ITIL, this framework is called the Service Value System. And this Service Value System is going to take any opportunities that arise for us or any demand that is placed upon us and the delivery of our IT services and convert that into some type of value for those customers, for those end users, for those stakeholders. So this framework, the Service Value System, is made up of many different components and many different activities that are going to work together so that way there we can take that opportunity and demand and convert it into value. Now, a critical part of this Service Value System is the practices. The practices are going to allow us, the providers of the service, to perform the work we need to perform, to accomplish the objectives we need to accomplish. Well, what work are we trying to perform? Or what objectives are we trying to accomplish? Well, whatever it is we need to do in order to take that opportunity and demand and convert that into some type of value. So these practices are going to assist us and put us on the right path so that way there we can successfully convert that opportunity and demand into some type of value. So in the world of ITIL, we have 34 different practices that are going to assist us in performing work and accomplishing objectives. So if you analyze these 34 different practices, some of these may be very familiar to you right now at this moment in time. Because when you look at them, you're like, oh yeah, we do that. But maybe you're sitting there going, wow, I didn't know there was that many. And so what does that mean? It means there are areas for you to improve upon. And by improving on those particular areas, you are going to produce greater value than you are already producing. And when you produce greater value, what does that mean? Well, it means things are more valuable. Those services are more valuable. It means the users, the customers, the stakeholders are benefiting from those services you are providing more so than they were before. And when they benefit, their customers benefit. And when their customers benefit, their customers benefit. Oh, there's a big ripple effect here. So let's just go through 5 of these practices really, really quickly so you can get an idea of what these do for us. Because there's a lot of them here, and we're not going to spend time going through all of them. But let's start off with incident management. So incident manage, this practice is about what? It's about minimizing the negative impact of an incident by restoring normal service operation as quickly as possible. So you are providing an IT service. If that IT service is not performing as it should, or it's not working at all, we have what is called an incident on our hands. And this practice is going to give us the steps we need in order for us to restore normal service operation as quickly as possible. You see, because when it comes to delivering services, those customers, those users, those stakeholders, they don't care that maybe we have a problem on our hands. No. What do they want? They want the service up and running. Think about when your internet connection goes down at home, or Netflix isn't working for some reason, or your cell phone is behaving abnormally. You just want it working. You're paying for that service. So it's the same thing here. When we're delivering IT services in our own environments, whenever an incident occurs, an issue, we need to restore normal service operation as quickly as possible. And incident management is going to give us the opportunity to do so. And when we have a very successful incident management practice in place, we are constantly ensuring the level of value is high for every single one of our customers. Why? Because the actual service is up and running when they need it. And if something goes wrong, we can quickly restore it as quickly as possible. But incident management is just about restoring that service as quickly as possible. Does that mean if I can restore the service as quickly as possible without solving the underlying problem, I should do so? Absolutely. Why? Because there's another practice in ITIL called problem management practice. And this is about solving the actual reason why incidents actually occurred, or solving a problem that can prevent an incident from occurring down the road. So we could be reactive, we could be proactive here. But the thing is that this practice is about dealing with the actual cause of that incident. Whereas the incident itself is just about just restoring normal service operation as quickly as possible. You might say, well, why separate the two? We don't do that. Well, if you don't do it, you should. And the reason why is because if you can get the service back up and running as quickly as possible without solving the problem, the customers are happy. They don't care the problem still exists. All they care about is having the service running. That's all they care about. So with that in mind, having these two practices separated out ensures that you can deal with those incidents right away, get the service back up and running as quickly as possible following that practice. Whereas here with problem management, you'll have different procedures, different steps, different processes you're going to follow over here to actually solve the problem itself. So a good example, blue screen of death with Windows devices back in the day. The most popular way of restoring that service as quickly as possible because of that blue screen of death is reboot the computer. That is incident management. Do we know why it blue screened? Do I care right now why it blue screened? No, because I'm dealing with incident management. Get that server back up and running as quickly as possible. But over here in problem management, this is where I'd spend some time solving the problem. Why is it blue screening? But you see, I'm doing this and the service is up and running right now. So the customers have no idea we're trying to solve a problem behind the scenes. Now, not all incidents can be solved right away without solving the problem. In that case, absolutely, you're going to have to invoke problem management, solve the problem to fix the incident. But where you can restore normal service operation as quickly as possible with incident management, you absolutely want to. Absolutely you want to. So two really good practices that are interrelated in some way, shape, or form, but they're allowing us to stay focused. So that way there we can deliver the best, most efficient, most effective services to our end users, our customers, our stakeholders. Now, when it comes to requests that are coming from those users, those customers, those stakeholders, we want to deal with those requests as efficiently and effectively as we possibly can. So having something like the service request management practice in place. So that way there we can support the agreed quality of our service. And being able to handle all predefined user-initiated requests in an effective and user-friendly manner is what we're going to be doing with this service request management practice. So if a user is asking to have their password reset, that falls under this practice. If a user is requesting access to a file or folder, this falls under this practice. If this user has a compliment, a comment, a complaint, that falls under this particular practice. Now, we can't successfully manage our IT services without monitoring them. And so monitoring and event management is about observing our services, observing their components, observing the processes, the procedures, and everything that goes into our service, and recording everything about them and reporting on any changes of state. Now, if a state changes, what does that mean? It means we have an event. An event is when that state changes. So if the wireless network is up and then it's down, that's an event. We have a change of state. If an interface is up, but then it's down, that is a change of state. We have a server that's operating normally, and then it blue screens on us. We have a change of state. So being able to recognize these change of states as quickly as possible, or being able to predict future changes of state before they happen, giving us the ability to be proactive, is going to allow us to stay ahead of the game. Because monitoring and event management goes hand in hand with what? Problem management and incident management. Both of them. Why? Because an event is a change of state. A change of state is because there's a problem. And when there's a problem, what do we have? We have incidents. So something to keep in mind is that incident management, problem management, monitoring event management, they pretty much go together, but we separate them. So that way there we can deal with them and focus on these different practices in the ways we need to focus on them. So that way there we can be efficient. We can be effective with incident management, problem management, and monitoring and event management. And lastly, I want to wrap up this discussion by taking a look at change enablement. Change enablement is about ensuring that we maximize the number of successful service and product changes day in and day out. You see, what drives value is change. Without change, value erodes. Absolutely. If you've never thought of it that way, remember this going forward. When it comes to IT services, if you don't change, value of that service erodes. And if you always keep that back in your mind, that is what drives ITIL. It's change. And so, since we're dealing with change, we want to make sure that changes are going to be successful. So we want to maximize the number of successful service and product changes. Because anytime we add, modify, or remove anything that has a direct or indirect effect on our services, we want to make sure that we're doing so in a way that is accurate, correct, efficient, and effective. And that's where change enablement comes into play. So that way there we assess risks properly, we authorize our changes as we need to, and then we're scheduling everything in a way to make sure that we will be successful without hurting or hindering any other services that we have. So there's just an idea, folks, of what these practices can do for you within ITIL. Measuring and reporting, organizational change management, project management, risk management, information security management, capacity and performance management, service desk, deployment management. So all of these different practices serve a purpose. The purpose is what? To help you accomplish the work you are trying to accomplish. So that way there you can achieve your missions, your goals, your objectives. And the biggest mission, goal, objective you have is to continuously deliver a high quality of value and improve the value of the services. So practices are extremely important. And each and every single organization in the world today can benefit from ITIL practices. So folks, I encourage you to take the time to begin your ITIL journey with us here at Storman Studios. jump into our ITIL V4 Foundations course. We're going to learn more about ITIL at a foundational level. You'll have the opportunity to explore that service value system. We'll analyze 15 different practices, as well as many of those other components that you saw in that service value system. So folks, until then, keep up the great work, keep on learning, keep on being safe, and we'll see you in a future session with us here at Stormwind Studios. Take care, folks, and bye for now.